Superman. About to go see it. We just got the Dairy Queen meal. Pretty good. Pre-match thoughts. We've been waiting 2 years for this junk. I'm hyped. Most anticipated movie of the year. Just rewatched all the Superman movies. I'm hyped. Let's go.
Superman. What a film. This was amazing. I loved every second of this movie. David Cornsweet is brilliant as Superman. Nicholas Hoult, brilliant as Lex Luthor. Rachel Brosnahan, brilliant as Lois Lane. The casting in this movie is phenomenal, and I can't wait to talk about it. So, last night I saw Superman, and this is the film we've been waiting for so long. Announced 2 years ago with James Gunn's original slate of the new DCU. This is the movie to really kick it off. I know we had Creature Commandos and Peacemaker, which is all technically part of the DCU. There's a couple old DCEU things that James Gunn's keeping, which is kind of confusing, but this is the official kickoff to the DCU. The DCEU is officially dead. Get Zack Snyder's junk out of here. We won't miss you, Zack. Zack is a great director. We won't miss you. We have James the Man Gunn himself. And I've been on the hype train for this movie ever since it was announced as Superman Legacy, which I kind of liked that name a lot more than just Superman. I feel like it's a little bland, but you know, I can't complain too much. That's just super like nitpicky and like who cares, you know? I definitely started getting really hyped for this film back in September when I started watching Smallville, and I was like, wow, Superman is a great character. Because Superman, he was never really a character I cared for that much. I'm a bigger Batman and Spider-Man guy, and just Marvel in general I used to like a lot more than DC, but I think DC could potentially overtake that spot for me, just because I feel like DC has a better catalog of heroes and stories in general. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But leading into this movie, every trailer we were getting just looked amazing. I was scared about a few things. There were a few things I was really scared about, actually. A lot of the visual stuff I was a little scared about. But seeing this in theaters, man, like, none of that stuff was really bad. Actually, most of the stuff I was worried about was some of the best parts of the movie in general. I was really scared about Ma and Pa Kent. They looked just a little weird. I wasn't really into it, but man, that was some of the best part of the movie for sure. Some of the VFX I thought looked a little weird in the trailers, but in the context of the film, they do look a lot better in general. But let's go ahead and get into the good of this film. And there is a ton. There's not a lot of bad in this film in general. We'll get to this later, actually. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Maybe the performance of the year. Maybe one of the best superhero villain performances of all time. I know he can't beat Heath Ledger. That is physically impossible. And there's several other guys in there that he just couldn't beat at all. But this might actually be the best, like, performance of a superhero villain since Heath Ledger as the Joker. That's something my dad told me, and I almost completely agree with that. There's just been a few that could surpass it. Like, High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was top tier, and I guess, like, Thanos is the only other real one. But besides that, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is amazing. Highlight of the movie, for sure. He is perfect in this role. I could not see anyone else here. And just, we saw this from the trailers. He's just the aura man himself. I'm going to show a clip right here. Shows you his aura. He just keeps walking on. Man, I loved Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. And overall, the cast of this film is brilliant. I loved Guy Gardner. I don't know the actor's name, but I absolutely loved him as a character. He was super funny, and just I really enjoyed him. Mr. Terrific was amazing. Definitely both of them were characters I didn't know a lot about before this film, and definitely were big standouts that I really liked. Then Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane was brilliant. I loved her more than the original Lois Lane actress. I mean, you gotta respect the original, but Rachel Brosnahan, probably the best Lois Lane we've had. Better than the original, better than Superman Returns, better than Man of Steel. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of the Superman TV shows, but Rachel Brosnahan, maybe the best Lois of all time. And maybe the best Superman of all time, David Cornsweet. I mean, of course, you can't beat Christopher Reeves. Y'all are gonna, don't take that clip out of context, because Christopher Reeves is the GOAT. You can't physically beat Christopher Reeves. But David Cornsweet puts up a pretty dadgum good ballot job. I don't know. He's amazing as this superhero. He cares so much about every life. And just the fact that in the film, there's a big twist, and Superman starts questioning why he does what he does. And those are good questions that we need to be asking in Superman films. And just something that I don't think Superman's expanded on enough. I know he stands for truth, justice, and the American way, but like, we need to understand why he stands for that. And a lot of it is Ma and Pa Kent. But in this film, it does talk about his original Krypton family not standing for that, I guess. And just, I don't know. It's great. And there's some cameos in this. We got I'm not going to tell you who the cameo. We're going to stay spoiler free for all of y'all who haven't seen the film yet. You're welcome. Because I don't want you to miss out on these cameos. Our theater started going nuts during a couple of these. A big standout in this was Jimmy Olsen. Wow. Jimmy Olsen's a character that I never really cared for too much. Just in those original Superman films. He's funny. He's kind of a comedic relief-ish character. But he is hilarious in this movie. And I loved every second Jimmy was on screen. My dad told me, and I completely agree, he does give some Michael J. Fox vibes. Which, as the Back to the Future man himself, me, I absolutely loved it. The music in this film was really good. Time out. What is going on? I'll be right back. Okay, as I was saying, the music in this film was brilliant. I really loved it. The emotion, this film really hits emotionally, and I almost started crying at a couple points in this film just because we've been waiting so long for this movie, and I just loved every second of it. The story was brilliant. I was not expecting them to go where they went with the story, and I don't know what comic they adapted, but I really need to read this comic, and it was great. I absolutely loved it. This film is not overstuffed at all. You're going to hear that from a lot of people. I personally do not think it was overstuffed at all. Maybe that's the YouTube shorts and me kicking in, and just like my short attention span, I guess. I don't know. But compared to the other Superman movies, this movie does not drag at all. And because most of them do. And everything just feels naturally, flows very well, and all that. It makes something James Gunn's great at. We knew this already. Making like super unknown characters absolutely amazing. He did this in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and he's doing it again here. It's like the Justice Gang. They're just a ton of characters none of us really knew a lot about. I guess like maybe Guy Gardner a little bit, but since he was a Green Lantern, I guess. I don't know. And also, this movie's ending rips off the Lego Batman movie. Take with that what you will, but I think it does. And a couple of bad things. I mean, there's a couple of weird jokes in it, and there's a couple of bad lines of dialogue. There was actually one I was like, what? Why are we doing this? But, guys, I love this movie. So far, I think this is the best movie of the year so far, surpassing F1, which I had at my top. And I'm so excited to see more from James Gunn's DCU. I cannot wait to see more. Can't wait for Supergirl. Hopefully we'll get a Superman 2. Can't wait for Batman Brave and the Bold. I just can't wait. James Gunn, you got me on the hype train. Tell me what you think about this down in the comics, and if you want, you can like and subscribe or whatever. But we'll see you again in the next one.